Welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. So glad you decided to tune in and check out the prospect action in the Dodgers system. As we always do, we're going to start with AAA. Oklahoma City had a chance to go to the Bricktown Ballpark last night in downtown OKC. Had a chance to interview Ryan Fitzgerald. Going to released my interview this morning of James Tibbs III. There's Luke and Baker that just hit that ball, by the way. Also had the chance to catch up with Jacob Amaya, who is with the Reno Aces. He was one of the first young men I ever interviewed. Him, Ryan Noda, and Nick Robertson were the three first I ever interviewed for Dodgers Daily. I actually called it Dodger Poke Report back then. Got to give him a hug and wish him the best of luck. It was great to see Jacob Amaya. And so it was a good night last night in AAA Oklahoma City. And then also Thomas Hatch started pitching for Reno. Thomas Hatch went to OSU, and he was actually the ace on the OSU staff. That he led them at Oklahoma State to the College World Series in 2016. So an eventful night last night for me. Stayed for the whole thing. Got to see some great action, including a great start, not a good start, a great start from this young man, actually kind of a veteran, Cole Irvin. Cole Irvin, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, no walks. Okay, you know, it's the 6 Ks were great because Cole Irvin, the veteran, he's kind of been that crafty lefty that hasn't struck out a whole lot of guys, but has created weak contact. Last night, that cutter-sinker combo he was throwing, the cutter turning left, the sinker turning right, that was a really, really good combo, and especially the cutter. The cutter was a really, really good pitch for him. And by the way, kind of quietly, I guess, I mean, because I don't think Cole Irvin's like getting a whole lot of buzz in the system right now. Cole Irvin has lowered his ERA down to 3.60. So definitely stay tuned on Cole Irvin. I know I get asked all the time, hey, who might be some of the next guys from Oklahoma City? I think Cole Irvin, of course, I don't know if he'll be in a starting role, or of course, then they chose Eric Lauer over him as well. They just picked up Lauer, and he's going to go to the back end. But I do think Cole Irvin is a guy that will get consideration to be that guy that comes up for a while and then gets DFA'd and sent back down, or DFA'd and put on the waiver wire, and see if you can get him back in AAA, or he moves on to another team. But I want to show you Cole Irvin. I also want to show you Carlos Duran. Look at that, man. That is a sweet cutter. I am right behind home plate. His stuff, and I was talking with Alex last night, the play-by-play voice, his stuff looked awesome. I mean, he was hitting 97. There's the slider. So you've seen the cutter and the slider, and then the sinker. See that? See how that sinker is moving in on the hands of righties, and that cutter, and see that sinker again. That actually moved in on Luke and Baker's hands. Here's Jacob Amaya hitting here. See that sinker coming in on Jacob? He's like, oh my goodness, that thing is coming up really in on me. And then there's the cutter there. So you're seeing the right turn with the sinker. You saw a sink to the one to Luke and Baker. There's the sinker as well. See how you saw it just kind of tumble off the table. You've seen the cutter turn left, and there's whenever he goes to the glove side to it, it straightens out more like a 4-seam. There is the slider there. So Carlos Duran, to be honest with you, was pretty nasty last night. So I was really excited to see him. And those are the 2 guys I wanted to cover the most. But I also wanted to cover Noah Miller as well and at AAA, because I got a chance to see Noah Miller take BP for quite a bit last night. And not that, I'm evaluating or anything. I'm really not. I mean, it's kind of one of those deals where I'm just there having a really good time. Really fortunate to get media credentials where I can do this. That's Ryan Fitzgerald right here. That's not James Albin. This is Tyler Fitzgerald. That's the hitting coach, Dylan Nishotka there. So Tyler Fitzgerald, I had a chance to talk to him last night as well. Going to interview him this week. I already have an interview with Ryan Fitzgerald done. Going to release that tomorrow. And you're seeing Noah Miller here take BP at the Bricktown Ballpark in AAA Oklahoma City. He had an RBI base hit last night. He has hits in 8 games in a row. And Noah Miller is 10th for his last 24 with 2 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs. So a really good night last night, a really good year so far for Noah Miller. He has turned out to be an above average, quite a bit of well above league average offensive player, and we know how good the defense plays. Yeah, no doubt about that. He is a Gold Glove caliber defender, so it's great to see him be good offensively too. And there you got to see some of his BP. So didn't quite get this swing. We're going to see it here in just a minute. Josue DePaula, as we move to the Double-A level, had a couple of base hits. Now, this has been one of those streaks, one of those ebbs and flows for Josue DePaula, where he hasn't quite gone as good lately. So to see the 2 hits last night, one being a double, the other being a home run, A, good to see the hits. Here comes the home run there. B, good to see the power. There is the opposite field. So you saw the pull side power for the home run. There is the opposite field gap there for Josue DePaula. That is absolutely awesome. There's Kendall George. We're going to get into him in a minute. So 275 for Josue DePaula in the year. OPS 846. WRC plus of 130. So Josue DePaula has been 30% above league average. And how about this? As we always say about him, I know you won't be surprised if you're on Dodgers Dogs because you're a pretty educated fan. If you are, the strikeout rate and walk rate, both are identical, both at exactly 15.3%. So he's walked and struck out the exact same amount. I mean, literally the exact same amount, even down to the 10th of a point. That's just absolutely amazing. And he always does that. He is an amazing player. So stay tuned on Josue DePaula. And then another young man that had a really, really nice night last night. If I can get to his video right here, Zyro Hope. Zyro Hope, boom, right there, right back up the middle. Actually, that's kind of right center. See how much that ball carries? I mean, this dude really tattooed. So last time we talked about Zyro Hope, the strikeout rate was around 25%, and the ISO, the power index, was quite a bit lower than that. And my comment on that was, very fairly, I will stick to it, that the strikeouts were winning, even though he had the 9 home runs that leads Tulsa in home runs. That's quite a few. That's good. But still, the strikeouts were the trade-off between striking out and the power was a negative one at that point. Okay, well, since we've talked, okay, the K rate's still at 25%. The ISO has risen all the way up to 211. So you're talking, what, 0.4 of a point difference there? That's really close. So Zyro Hope has risen his power index up to 211. That tells me, or what that indicates is, his power to strikeout ratio is a really good one right now. Now, obviously, you'd like for it to be fairly even, to be really, 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 really above average. But here in the last week or so, Zyro Hope has done a good job raising his ISO, its power index, while not increasing his strikeout rate. And if he stays around that 25%, I think his ISO will end up somewhere around 240, 250, 260, and you'll have the perfect trade-off between power and swing and miss. So we're getting there. We're raising on the power side for Zyro Hope. That's a great thing to see. 270 on the year. OPS 813. And like we said, the trade-off is getting better between power and striking out. So let's get to our next guy that is absolutely full of electricity. I mean, I don't think I've done a Down the Farm show this year. And sometimes I can display different videos and it doesn't matter because they're all just about the same. But whenever you're Zyro Hope, you got to play the ones from last night. And if I can find it here, I think this is it here. So we're in Wichita. Yeah, this is it. Wichita last night. I didn't actually put the date on there. Fairly routine ground ball to second base. I mean, yeah, I know it's 2 or 3 steps to the right of the second baseman. I mean, that's a not close play. Let me back this up. Well, actually, you're going to see it again. Well, no, let's back it up and let you watch this. Okay, I mean, what? How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5, 5 steps to the right of the second baseman. Safe. I mean, come on. And to be honest with you, this was a 3.9 to first base, and he's gone way below that. So this is even the fastest that he's ran to first base. So Kendall George, just ridiculous speed. And then he steals a base here. So he had that base hit. This is literally the next pitch. He steals base number 20. He's now 20 of 22 in stolen bases on the year. Then later on, what you're getting ready to see here in just a minute, here comes a slide right there. Look how he closes that gap. I mean, to normal runners, that looks like, hey, he's getting ready to be out there, but he just closes that gap. He just never slows down. And, you know, it's amazing how fast he is. And then he does this, dump right here, right into left field, just hits a little parachute right in front of the left fielder, right behind the shortstop. There is no player on earth that is doing a better job at using their carrying tool to create results than what Kendall George has done. Not this year, dated all the way back to the All-Star break of last year when, in my opinion, I haven't talked to him about it. I'll tell whenever I get over there next week, I'll see what he has to say about it. But in my opinion, I think it was kind of the Austin Gothier thing to where he just went, you know what, to hell with it. I'm Kenny George. I'm going to do what I do best. And if the Dodgers like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And because of that, he's been great. And what you're seeing right here, Mike Sirota got sent up to he got the promotion to Double-A Tulsa. This is his first base hit right here. Just to kind of show you how fast that Kendall George gets to first base. Mike Sirota is very fast. You can see here he beats out an infield hit. This is a little bit above 4 seconds to first base. Kendall George is almost a half second faster than that at some times. I've actually recorded Kendall George digitally at a 3.55. So Mike Sirota is definitely getting down the line here very fast. And just to think that Kendall George is 2 or 3 ticks even faster than that. But it's great to see Mike Sirota at the Double-A level. It's great to see him get his first hit last night. I wanted to show you that and show you the speed that he had there. And then it's also great to see Carson Hobbs. There's that slider there. That slider's back. He's throwing first pitch strikes again. He's in the zone. He threw 23 pitches last night. 15 were strikes. And when he's in the zone, no doubt about it, his stuff beats hitters in the zone when he's throwing. Look at that huge curveball. So you saw the slider to steal a strike. There's the curveball to wipe it out. That's, boy, look at that curveball there. That's to pair with a fastball that at some point will reach 100. It's already reached 99. He's super competitive. There's the slider there. And when he throws 15 out of 23 strikes like he did last night, it is simply roll damn tide, okay? Because he is really, really good. So we talked about the promotion of Mike Sirota. There was another promotion of a really big-time prospect in the Dodgers system, and that would be one Mr. Emil Morales. And Emil Morales has had so many highlights that I've got about 15 of them I have to sort through there. Looks just like a line drive in the box score, right? Hey, we'll take it. I will take any hit. Hey, I'll take that. And to be honest with you, the Loons went into that inning down 5-0. It was 5-4 with the bases still loaded and only one out. Then Gio Cueto, and then I can't remember who it was, struck out behind him. And the Loons ended up losing 6-4 last night. But that was exciting, and it was exciting to see Emil Morales get his first hit at the high A level. Congratulations to that young man on the promotion. Congratulations to his first hit in a Loons uniform at the high A level. And this is a very sleeper type pick here, Eduardo Guerrero. Eduardo Guerrero is a long, tall drink of water. Really, really smooth left-handed stroke. And see that? I mean, that's really, for a big guy, especially with long levers like he has, that's a really smooth stroke. And by the way, Eduardo Guerrero, how about 317 on the year, OPS of 820, and Eduardo Guerrero is hitting 348 so far this month. So Eduardo Guerrero, he's a guy that you need to put on your radar because he's long, he's lanky, he's a really good athlete, and he's having a really good year with the stick. So I really like what I'm seeing from Eduardo Guerrero at the high A level. And as we go down to now the single A level with the Ontario Tower Buzzers, have a night. Myro Martinez, Easton Shelton also had a home run and a 2 RBI base hit, 4 RBIs for the Ontario Tower Buzzers. But Myro Martinez had 3 hits last night for Ontario. He had his 8th double. He also had a couple of RBIs, and he raised his average to 293, and he now has multiple hits in 2 of the last 3 games that he has played in. So Myro Martinez, kind of the right-handed version, if you will, of Eduardo Guerrero. Really talented, really long, a really good frame, strong. He's kind of that country boy strong. See those levers there, really kind of loose levers, long levers. I love that swing there. Lots of potential. Hasn't totally put it together yet, but he's had some really good moments. This is a guy that when the light bulb goes off, watch out, because there is a top end of talent inside of that frame there. That's a pretty top end. I'll just say that to it. And talk about top end talent. Just great to see Joendry Vargas. He is officially getting hot. Okay, got off to a slow start. He's been injured, that kind of deal. But he is officially hot. Last night, 2 more hits for the Tower Buzzers. Joendry Vargas also walked twice. He scored a couple of runs. He now has multiple hits in 3 games in a row. And in those 3 games, Joendry Vargas is 8 for 12 with 2 doubles and 5 RBI. So it's really, really good to see Joendry Vargas, a very high top prospect, come into his own here, at least offensively, in the last couple of weeks. Fight against a maybe a slow start, maybe some frustration, and in the face of that, really respond to it and start playing very well, at least offensively, for the Ontario Tower Buzzers. And then I wanted to finish the Down the Farm segment for today with 6'8" Robbie Porco. That is a huge fastball. Huge fastball. Look at that right there. Okay. And I believe they were saying he was throwing a pretty good changeup as well. I have not talked to Robbie, and I have not actually nailed down his pitch mix with Sean Coyne, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But I think it was a changeup that they were talking about on the broadcast that he was throwing really well. But that high-riding fastball, it has a little bit of tail to it, so a little bit of ride and run to that. Porco, 6'8", out of West Virginia. Okay, there's that little cutter pitch. So yeah, he definitely has a cutter, and I think they said change up. ERA down to 3.18, whip down to 110. He has 24 strikeouts and 22.2 innings. And his average against is just 155. Now, in those 22.2 innings, he does have 14 walks, so you got to clean that up as you go on. But to me, that just goes to show how much margin for error that Robbie Porco has with his great stuff, that he can still have 14 walks and 22.2 innings and still have an ERA of 3.18 and just a whip of 110. So great job, Robbie Porco. I want to thank you for tuning in to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. And as always, one last reminder, hey, the Dodgers beat the Padres last night, looking to win the series tonight. Austin and I will go live later this evening, so look for that. Turn on your notifications. And so until then, I want to remind you, as always, it's a great day to be a Dodger.